Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome to Monday Morning Affirmations. I am your host, Stephen Dillard Carroll. How was your weekend? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything exciting? Did you stay your behind at home? There's nothing wrong with that either. In such volatile times, one never knows what one will face, either staying home or going outside. So do you, and enjoy your life in the best way that you know how. Welcome to this channel. This channel is about affirmations. We uplift each other. We encourage each other. We inspire each other. We see the best in each other. As I often say, we are, each one of us, a little slice of divinity stuffed into a human form. Our divinity far outshines our humanity. Our divinity is way bigger than is our humanity. Our humanity is a reflection of how much we allow our divinity to shine out from us. And so this channel is a channel that is dedicated to us finding our true potential, finding our true spirit, and allowing that spirit to shine forth in the brightest way possible. And we do that through love. We do that through unconditional love, first for ourselves and then for our fellow spirits that are in human form. And so that's what these affirmations are all about. We uplift each other on this channel. We are each other's cheerleading team, because as I say, if you don't have a rah 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 sis boom ba cheerleader in your section, you should, because every human deserves a cheerleading section in their corner. So that's what we're going to do today, and that's what this channel is all about. So let's jump right on into it. Our inspiration for our affirmation comes from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. If you like what you see in this deck, if it sings to you, if it resonates with you, you can get your very own copy of this deck in the description link down below. There's a link in the description box down below. Click it and get you one of these decks. Also, while you're down there, you'll find a link or links to my top 5, my fave 5 tarot decks that I use in my private practice. If you'd like to click on those links and get your own copy of those as well, you can. And speaking of my private practice, I am a psychic. It's what I do for a living. So if you would like to book a private session with me, I would love that. I would love to sit down with you and conversate with you for an hour and see what insight and inspiration we can get from whatever is going on in your life. So that link also is down below. Finally, if you like this video, I encourage you to like it, comment on it, subscribe to it, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with everyone that you know. When you do those 4 things, like, comment, subscribe, and share, what ends up happening is you end up helping me out a lot. And as I have been alluding to this whole episode so far, that's what we're about on this channel. We're about uplifting each other and helping each other and seeing the divinity in each other and allowing that divinity to shine brightly. And for that, I thank you kindly for supporting me every step of the way. So let's jump into today's affirmation. And so specifically, our affirmation this morning is brought to us by Justice. It's in the reverse position. This is kind of a self-explanatory card. It basically means when this card comes up and it's in the reverse position, it basically means either justice is not in your favor or justice is slow moving, or justice is going to reward you in a way that is far less than what you anticipated on. It just shows that whatever justice that you are seeking, you either won't get that justice, or it will come in a different form, or it will be far less than what you expect it to be. And so from the outside looking in, this card perhaps isn't the best card to come up in a reading. And I kind of want to flip that on its ear a little bit. I remember doing a private reading for a person who was going through a property issue. Her and her family were arguing over this piece of land, and she wanted to know what the outcome of that was going to be. And this card came up in that position, and I said, look, what I'm getting from this is you're probably not going to get as much as you thought you were going to get. You probably are it's probably not going to be satisfactory to you in that way. And I was doing this at a fair, opera, Oklahoma Psychic Education and Research Association, which is here in Oklahoma City. I was doing that there, and they hold fairs 5 times a year, and I try to go at least a few times during the year. Anyway, I was doing this particular reading for her at the opera fair, and what happened was maybe 2 fairs later, so around 4 to 5 months later, I was doing another opera fair, and this same person came up to me and she said, look, I wanted to reach out to you to tell you that you were right on about your reading. I didn't get what I expected to get. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I mean, thank you for affirming our conversation, but I'm so sorry to hear that things did not turn out the way that you had hoped they did. And she said, well, you know, as it turns out, getting that piece of my life settled was the best thing that ever happened to me. Again, the land was actually, if I remember correctly, the land was her, either her parents or grandparents, probably her grandparents, and the whole family was fighting over the land, and the land isn't even here in Oklahoma. But the whole family was fighting over it. And she said, I'm so glad to have that behind me. And looking back on it, it really wasn't even about the land. It wasn't about the money that I would have gotten had I sold the land. It wasn't about that at all. It was about, I need to lay my grandparents to rest, and I need to move on from this situation. And now that everything has been settled, even though it was not settled in my favor, I'm finally able to move on from this, and hopefully my grandparents have some modicum of peace over what happened. And so, tying this back into our affirmation for this week, things don't always turn out the way you planned. They just don't. And that's a shame, because we have all of these grandiose plans for each other, and I'm reminded of that old saying, the easiest way to make God laugh is to tell him your plans. just because things don't work out the way that you want them to doesn't necessarily mean that it's the worst thing in the world for you. In fact, it could be the best thing for you that things don't work out according to plan. In fact, as I said in that story, this person was able to finally close that chapter in her life and move on with her life. She was no longer tied to that outcome because that outcome had already been resolved, and she was able to let go. And she was able to move on in a good and positive way. And she felt that her grandparents were happy with that. She felt that her grandparents were good with how things turned out. And in fact, as I told her, her grandparents were much more concerned with her and her mental health and her emotional health and her spiritual health. They were much more concerned with that than they could ever have been concerned about a piece of land. So, fight hard for what you want. Go for what you want. My affirmation is all of that. Have a dream, have a goal, take concrete positive steps forward towards that goal. All the while not being tied to the outcome of that goal, because it's never, even if you get what you want, it never looks like what you think it should look like. So anyway, by the way, I just realized I didn't tell you what date this is for. This is for the week of Martha. That's a nerd joke. This is for the week of March 8th to 2021. Again, go for what you want, and know that even if it doesn't turn out the way that you planned, there are a ton of lessons that need to be learned and should be learned from whatever process that you went through. And that is the most important thing. Our spiritual growth, our spiritual evolution, us moving forward in a good and positive way is really and truly the reason why we are here on this planet. Big spirits in small, tiny bodies. So that is my affirmation for you today. Do not be tied to the outcome. It's very, very Buddhist, but it's wise. Allow the process to be the process. Go for what you want. Let go of the outcome and allow the process to be what it is. You guys have a fantastic, fantastic week, and I will see you right back here next Monday morning. Bye.